videos have been on the dumbass 27-year-old cops that I told you have no business being in law enforcement because they're 27, and 20-year-olds don't have the best decision-making abilities. Yes, the 26-year-old said, "You're absolutely correct." Former Aurora school resource officer accused of sending inappropriate texts to a student. Over the course of 24 hours, he went from trying to be helpful to inappropriately texting her, the victim's mother said. Aurora, Colorado. A former Aurora Police Department officer is accused of sending inappropriate texts to a female student at Aurora Central High School. The Arapahoe County District Attorney charged, not even going to try to fucking pronounce that name. Don't know what country these damn people are coming from. Anyway, the kids couldn't pronounce it either, so they nicknamed him DJ. That's his name. Charged this idiot with 3 misdemeanor charges of official misconduct for incidents that happened between March and October last year. It's unclear if there's more than one victim. Misdemeanor charges, I'll show you why that becomes important here in a minute. My daughter had reached out to the SRO at her high school for some support for some harassment that she was receiving, said the victim's mother, who wants to remain anonymous. Over the course of 24 hours, he went from trying to be helpful to, inappropriately texting her. Shocking. It is not. You got to get all them fucking degenerates out of all the schools. SRO, there should never be law enforcement in any... Zero law enforcement in any schools. There was no law enforcement in the schools when we were growing up. When you got to high school, our high school was a rectangle, and when you walked around waiting to go to the next class and you passed by the front and you saw a deputy car, because we was out in the county, you saw a deputy car sitting there, you're like, oh damn, some shit must be going down. So you kind of like walk and creep by the office and peek in. It's just a little doper got caught smoking a joint out at the baseball field dugout. That's like the most there was. And we had guns on campus. We did, because the hunters, they drove the pickup trucks and they had the shotguns and the rifles and the 4-wheel drive. Anyway, in the back window, no cars' doors were locked. Nobody fucked with your shit. And now all of a sudden, oh my god, the guns are killing everybody. No, there's a mental health issue in this country, and until people get a hold on it, it is not going to stop. In October, the student reached out to, known as DJ, told you. She said her boyfriend at the time was threatening to spread inappropriate images of her. Several messages from the SRO raised red flags for the girl's mother. Now, her boyfriend at the time was threatening to spread inappropriate images of her. Where did he get inappropriate images of her? These kids have got to stop it with these phones. Not that the SROs, he had no business doing what he did, but these kids have got to stop it with the phones. Don't tell anybody we're talking. How dare you? Don't tell other police officers that we are talking. Download this app for you to talk to me. Just from the very beginning, why are you giving your personal phone number to a minor? The victim's mother said, talking about her undergarments and all of that. All of those are completely inappropriate. The girl's mother said these texts are particularly disturbing coming from an officer. Completely disgusting and disappointed, and you trust that the people that are in these positions are good people. The victim's mother said there are zero standards. I don't know why anybody I keep saying it. I feel like I'm just I'm just beating the same dead horse. Law enforcement is a complete fucking shit show, and it has got to be burnt to the ground and started all over again. There are zero standards. There's no hiring standards. There's no practice standards. There's no training standards. More training, the bootlickers will say. More training. They get a shit ton of fucking training. You think the way they act is by accident? No. So you want more of that same training? It just kind of shows you that it can happen at any time, anywhere, to anyone, and from anyone, and it's very concerning. He has access to all these kids, the victim's mother said. The girl's mother is thankful her daughter spoke up and hopes others will do the same. So maybe this will give them that push to have a conversation if they did experience that. 100%, the victim's mother said. Also, I want to make sure that people are aware of what he did. Aurora PD told the state in October the SRO resigned while under investigation. Shocking. In March, the state pulled his certification, so he can no longer serve as a police officer in Colorado. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but that doesn't matter, because if Colorado pulls your certification, you can still be a cop in other states. It depends on the state's requirements. Some of them will say, well, you got to go through our academy. Some of them will say, we'll give you 6-month probationary period. And some states might not recognize a revoked Colorado certificate. You have to disclose on your information. They'll do a background check. And if Colorado revoked your certification for serious misconduct, it could significantly have a bearing on if you can become a police officer in another state. Now, serious misconduct. What did they say back here? Misdemeanor charges of official misconduct. Now, are they going to consider misdemeanor for official misconduct a serious charge? Likely not. He'll likely pop up again when he's killed somebody. So, this is from May 24. Let's see what this one says right quick.
Aurora police officer is accused of sending inappropriate texts to a female student at Aurora Central High School.
9 News reporter Lawrence Cafidi is here in Lauren. He was a school resource officer at the time.
Yeah, we know of at least one girl who says she exchanged texts with this former officer. I spoke with her mother today, and she asked to remain anonymous, but she did tell me that their family has moved 2 times because of this incident.
My daughter had reached out to the SRO at her high school for some support for some harassment that she was receiving.
The text between a student and a school resource officer started innocently enough.
Over the course of less than 24 hours,
she went to this SRO. She is 16, he's 20, so 10 years older. Probably as a maybe like an older brother type, you know, because they're like, oh, we got them in the schools and they're there to help and they want to be your friends, and no, stop. All of them need to go. Every damn last one of them need to go. Serious psychological evaluations at best to be an SRO. And when I say serious, I mean they should put them through so much fucking psychological evaluation that they have nightmares about having to take a psychological evaluation.
Went from trying to be helpful to, inappropriately texting her.
Last October, the student reached out to the Aurora Central High SRO Egide Ndagije, known as DJ. She said a boyfriend at the...
Notice she said the name...
to a female student at Aurora
Notice
Central
she said the name so
the
fast.
Aurora Central High SRO Egide Ndagije, known as DJ. She said a boyfriend at the time was threatening to spread inappropriate...
Can't even pronounce his fucking name. Just say it fast. There's a bunch of damn consonants and airsoft and that they'll vowel or two in, and then just say it real fast. Call him DJ.
Images of her. Several messages from the SRO raised red flags for the girl's mother, who asked us to remain anonymous.
Don't tell anybody we're talking.
This is a child that has gone to a law enforcement officer that we're all told to hold in the highest regards because their authority. Not anymore. Law enforcement is a complete fucking shit show. I know I'm still beating that same... Sorry, horse. Still beating that same dead horse, but holy fuck, shit's got to really change.
How dare you? Don't tell other police officers that we're talking. Don't, download this app for you to talk to me, talking about her undergarments and all of that. All of those are completely inappropriate.
The girl's mother says these texts are particularly disturbing coming from an officer.
Completely disgusted and disappointed, and, trust that the people that are in these positions are good people.
The Arapahoe County DA charged DJ with 3 misdemeanor counts of official misconduct for incidents that happened between March and October of last year. It's unclear if there's more than one victim.
It just kind of shows you that it can happen at any time, anywhere.
The girl's mother is thankful her daughter spoke up.
Thank God, she did. I'm super proud of her.
And hopes others will do the same.
So maybe this will give them that push to have a conversation if they've experienced that. 100%.
Aurora PD told the state in October the SRO resigned while under investigation. In March, the state pulled his certification so he can no longer serve as a police officer in Colorado. Live in the studio, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
From Aurora, let's see what his punishment was. School resource officer who inappropriately texted teen sentenced to probation. And this is from January 20th, 2025. A former Aurora Police school resource officer who was accused of sending inappropriate text messages to a 16-year-old girl at the school he was responsible for keeping safe has reached a plea deal with prosecutors. Of course he has. Alphabet here, 26, because the 27-year-olds weren't dumb enough. Now it's just really 26. Was sentenced on Friday to 1 year of probation, 32 hours of community service, and $803.05 in fines and court costs, court records show. He was charged with 3 counts of first-degree official misconduct, a misdemeanor, but 2 counts were dismissed as part of the plea agreement. Of course, we got to get as much shit dismissed as we can because we need to keep them uniforms filled, and he, probably not in Colorado, but can go likely somewhere else and be a cop. And again, the next time we hear from him, he will likely have killed somebody. Alphabet is accused of sending text of a... YouTube don't like some words, so I'll point them out, but I'm not going to say them. Of a nature over a several-month period in 2023. He was formally charged in May of 2024. CBS News Colorado is not identifying the girl he texted because she's a minor. There his ass is. You can't make this up. Can we fucking please? Look. No, I don't even understand what that hair is. Not shaven. Zero standards. Zero. I don't care. This is no standards. I keep saying, back in the day when my husband was in law enforcement, there was none of this. And he worked in Surf City, and part of their uniform was the dickhead hats like the Highway Patrol has. Your hair could barely touch the top of your ears and maybe the top of your shirt. When you put that hat on, none of this would be seen. When you took that hat off, this did not look like this. You shaved before you went to work. If he got up in the morning, if it was the weekend and he got up and he's like, I'll go ahead and shave that morning, not thinking he's going to work that night, before he went to work that night, guess what? His ass had to shave again. Mustache had to be tight. Hair had to be tight. He wore Marine Corps regulation forever. Tight. None of this fucking shit. This is zero standards, so they have zero accountability. It's ridiculous. Her attorney, Matthew Holtzman, says his client reached out to Alphabet in October 2023 about issues with an ex-boyfriend. Now, we already know this. I just thought I would show what his actual fines were. We have a child who was looking for help from law enforcement and became a target. Colorado last year. This is a 16-year-old who felt like she had a problem with her ex-boyfriend and wanted some advice from law enforcement and reached out to him because he had established himself as a person who could be trusted and a person who students looked up to. This is what students are looking up to. Holtzman provided CBS News Colorado a copy of the text message which appeared to show Alphabet telling a 16-year-old she's a grown woman and asking if her mom buys her underwear for her, to which the girl responded, that's not appropriate. It is not. Even a 16-year-old knows this is a predator. Sorry, that's what he is. She told her attorney that the conversation made her feel uncomfortable. The Aurora Police Department says it notified the Colorado Office of Attorney General, which oversees police certifications in the state. Due to Alphabet's guilty plea for official misconduct, he can no longer work as a police officer in the state of Colorado, records from the state attorney general's office show. Alphabet resigned from APD after the department concluded an internal investigation, but a department spokesperson said Alphabet would have been terminated if he hadn't quit. Well, that's good to know. Only problem is these certifications are going to have to be burnt. No second chance. No. We have to do better with hiring law enforcement. And depending on the extent of these text messages, I don't know if we're getting the whole story of it, would depend on if that's a misdemeanor or felony. But they don't care. They want to keep people like this in the schools. How would that make you feel, knowing that your child was in school and the person roaming the halls and looking and is this. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's all I have on this one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I am out. So anyway, I found some more. It's just different articles. It's mostly the same thing with a couple of new developments, because see, they'll print 8,200 articles and they'll say, well, the information's out there, but by the time you've read 4 or 5, you just assume they're all the same information. So here we are with the little degenerate. The teen begins a conversation. This is the conversation that we've already looked at mostly. Hi DJ, redacted, question, help with something. Dating this guy and I found out he cheated on me, trying to break up with him. He's threatening me with some crap. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Freaking scared right now. She tells Alphabet that the ex-boyfriend is threatening to share photos. We knew that. Asked, okay, I get it. Have you guys ever had, remember YouTube? The reason I ask is because when it comes to domestic violence, police officers are obligated to make an arrest when someone commits a crime against their partner or ex. Now, that is, I mean, it's not his business whether they've had sex or not. Whether they've had sex or not does not mean, well, because you had sex now it becomes domestic violence and this and that. Domestic violence is different state to state. Depends on how close your relationship is to that person, whether it's domestic violence or not. Anyway, go look it up for your state. She answers, and suggests blocking the ex. She continues to say, Mom told him to block him. Did you tell your mom you're talking to a cop? Yes. He encouraged her not to tell the PD. We knew that. Doing in her new city because they moved. She recently moved. They engaged in more personal conversation, including a discussion about weight loss, where Alphabet says, why are you trying to lose weight? You look great. Later conversation, he said, you're going, and I've read somewhere, it's one of the articles, of course I couldn't find it now, it says he was either the coach for the girls' volleyball team or golf team. He was a coach for one of them. Go look it up, see if you can find out. Anyway, no. The teen replies, not yet, paying my own bills. Come on, I have a lot of shit in my head, she said. She still pays for all my bills and clothes. I'm only 16, youngest, so I'm spoiled. He replies about the panties, we knew, inappropriate, yada yada yada. The parents looked at the messages, immediately contacted law enforcement. Wait, he is law enforcement. Okay, anyway. Turns out, APD's investigation found misconduct spanning the period of March 2023. All the way March 2023. Allegations state without having a valid law enforcement reason to do so, Alphabet used NCIC, CCIC to query a juvenile, and their family members then showed the query results to the juvenile. Took a photo of the juvenile without her knowledge. Alphabet gave their personal cell phone number to the juvenile. Sent text messages to Alphabet in an attempt to get advice and potentially make a report about domestic violence situations. Asked juvenile questions are inappropriate, unprofessional. Did not author a report about the incident. After it was placed on administrative leave, supervisor found items in a bag belonging to Alphabet that should have been submitted to the property and evidence unit and had not been. The department takes all allegations of misconduct seriously. Apparently not, because this isn't the first misconduct issue he's had. Leadership, administrative leave, we all knew that. Serious inquiries, yada yada yada. Former police chief. Investigate to conduct a separate independent investigation due to the separate pending criminal investigation and court proceedings. APD says it cannot provide a comment about the case. Conversation with students. Notified school resource officer employed at Aurora Police Department. Fully supportive of APD's investigation. He'll be back in court next week. Because when I went to this one and clicked down here to see what MSN had to say, they said, nope, sorry, try again. So I did. I tried again, and they said, nope, we're done talking about it. Completely discussed. This is a different article. Looked up the teen's address in a database. Personal information picture. Taking picture of her from behind. Should have been submitted in the property. We just looked at that. Criminal lawsuit. I thought I had something marked down here that school resource officer, fully support investigation despite emotional trauma, speak up. Whole incident, I don't have pictures to look back on. No prom, the team cried. My friends, I'm alone. Can no longer work as a police officer in Colorado. The former officer's certification under Colorado Peace Officer Standard and Training was revoked in March. So now, revoked, that carries a little more weight. Typically, if your peace officer's license is revoked, you can't go somewhere else. That follows you around. Now, that being said, are there departments that will look past that and say, well, we didn't see that? Likely, but usually if it is revoked in a state, you can't go somewhere else. Now, that being said, do they? They do. Anyway, I thought there was something else in here I was looking for. Apparently, maybe it was what I just read in the other one. Anyway, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm for anyway, look, can we, I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Stop. This is complete. Just rolled out of bed, probably slept in his uniform, just to, because why not? Apparently, inappropriate. I thought I could have sworn there was something else here, but I had two up. It could have been what I read in the other one. Addressing a database and revoked his last. But yeah, anyway, I'm out.